I love the faculty and staff here. I think it's so great that every time I come back on campus, they're always asking me, how are you doing? How is school going? How are different classes? And it's cool to be able to tell them, oh, we studied this in one of my classes, and it reminded me of when in senior year we talked about Shakespeare, or we did this or we did that. But they're always so warm and willing to help you out if you have any problems. The fact that they wrote some of my college rec letters was awesome, and I really just love them.
One of the teachers I found particularly influential while at Trinity was Mr. Cate. He taught Model UN, which I was very involved with. He also taught me Humanities 10. And while studying under him, I definitely learned how to write really well, which is something that I've been able to continue at UNC. And he certainly started my passion for international relations, which is also what I study at UNC. So I think he's been very influential and has certainly shaped how I go through life.
It was very interesting coming back to teach among the faculty after I had been taught by them for so many years. And it was interesting because the attitude really wasn't very different than I remembered it. One of the wonderful things about the faculty at Trinity is that they never look down on you. They always treat you like their intellectual equal, and they always make you think that your ideas are valid and worth considering, and that they're extremely important.
One faculty member that particularly stood out to me is, I would say, Dr. Sunset. Just because she teaches chemistry and biochemistry and the chemistry of energy, which I love. And she also teaches math. So the two of us really bonded over math and chemistry and physics. And I took every class she offered except for some of the math because I had already placed out. But I think seeing Dr. Sunset as a woman in science who had, done her graduate degree at the University of Tennessee near the Oak Ridge National Research Facility and done her postdoc at Harvard helped me really set my goals high.
The faculty and staff were particularly caring, and that since the small size of the school allowed them to really attend to more particular needs of the students. In my experience, I was not particularly good at chemistry, but thanks to Dr. Sunsteff, I met with her almost every other morning before the whole school started to review the homework or to talk about concepts from the previous class, and that kind of dedication really helped me in continuing with my studies. And the teachers are just fun as well. Miss Fly, when she was here, directed a really fun and engaging drama program, and Mr. Hicks, Bridges, and Cates directed really fun humanities courses varying in a large variety of subjects.
The faculty at Trinity School are very encouraging, and they're willing to work with you and connect with you on a personal level and to help you go deeper in your studies.
So my senior year, I took Mr. Jones' Shakespeare class, and something that was really cool is that every Friday we would have Challah Friday, and so he would bring in challah bread and we would just eat together on Fridays, and then people would act out different characters from the Shakespeare plays. And it would be kind of like a tea party, and they would have to stay in character throughout class, and as we asked them questions, and they had to interact with each other as different Shakespeare characters while the rest of us were eating bread. So it's just a great memory.
So when I came to Trinity and started going to the high school, which was a brand new thing, thing that kept me here was the fact that everybody was very intentional in making sure that you knew what was being taught to you. That you understood it, that you had a firm grasp, and that you really owned it, and that you were making sure to integrate that with your faith in a way that was extremely genuine.
The biggest thing that I found in high school was coming from a public school background up until 7th grade, having 7th and 8th grade, and then really launching into a rigorous high school curriculum. And Trinity was challenging. They were very demanding, writing-wise, reading intensive. I couldn't stand reading. I was a very slow reader, and I was struggling with languages too. Ironically enough, I happened to be a Spanish major as well in college as business administration, and so overall, I think around sophomore year, everything was becoming so difficult, and I didn't like that high school didn't allow me to take classes that were ultimately going to be what I was going to be doing in life. I wanted to be a police officer more than anything else and help people. I wanted to take classes that I was into and not Western civilization. But when I realized that not only I had a learning disability, but the tools and strategies that were working for me, my efforts to study harder than any other kid, I was of my peers, I was putting in way more time studying and then getting a lower grade on a test, and I was kicking myself in the face with it. And so I considered actually dropping out of high school, getting my associate's degree, and starting classes in criminal justice, something that I was interested in. However, once I learned the tools and strategies that would work for me, and the Trinity faculty got behind 100%, I was able to be wildly successful in college ultimately because of this.
At Trinity, I absolutely felt like I was known and loved. The faculty, the staff, the administration, and the other students all just had such an attitude of loving each other and putting the other person first. And they helped me to realize that not only was I loved by the people around me, but I was also deeply loved by Christ as well. And when I was going through a rough patch, they just kept showing me that love, and they helped me to realize that the Lord loves each and every one of us so deeply.